Welcome back to Saturday Agenda. I'm Joe Pinion. Well, in the past few months, U.S. intel says Russian hackers have rained down on American businesses and businesses across the globe with a series of ransomware attacks. So what can be done to stop them? We bring in our panel of sitting Congressman Clay Higgins of Louisiana and Chuck Fleischman of Tennessee. Congressman Higgins, I'll start with you. You're on the Homeland Security Committee. I've got a president of these United States pulling out a cue card to try to answer a question about one of the largest cyber attacks the world has ever seen. 17 countries impacted, over 1,000 businesses, 200 here in the United States. What in the world is happening right now if he cannot speak with authority on ending this threat to the homeland once and for all?
Well, if our inaugurated president, Mr. Biden, does not get it after 50 years in elected office, and we're not going to be able to explain it to him, I'm afraid, my friend. The ransomware attacks that we're seeing against American industry, businesses, small and large, our lending institutions, government entities, is far, far out of control and requires an organized federal response. Unfortunately, I don't believe we're going to see that out of the Biden administration. And I'm encouraging the constituents that communicate with me that own businesses and have their own IT capabilities, I'm advising them to strike back, which is exactly what our federal government should be doing and is not.
Now, Congressman Fleischman, I want to come to you because by any and all accounts, these are acts of war. They have attacked American businesses. They have attacked the American government. They have attacked the homeland. They have attacked other nations, everything from grocery stores to the Pentagon. The White House says that President Biden has said that he has threatened Putin with aggressions. I'll repeat that. The White House says that the president has claimed that he has threatened Vladimir Putin with some type of aggression. We don't actually know because we haven't heard the words come out of President Biden's mouth himself. What in the world do you think needs to happen right now? Because this threat is not going away anytime soon.
Well, Joe, you're absolutely right. This is a cowardly threat. This is a costly threat, and it's something that we cannot tolerate in America or around the world. There's 4 countries engaging this largely. Obviously, Russia, which has been shocking with their aggression, China, North Korea, and Iran. We have got to use all of our tools in the toolbox. I sit on the Homeland Security Subcommittee of Appropriations. I'm the ranking member, the highest Republican. I think it's high time that we put dollars into defending against this. But I think you hit it on the head, Joe. The President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief of the strongest, greatest nation in the world, needs to put his foot down and tell Putin, tell these other leaders that this will not be tolerated and that it will be met with the strongest retribution whatsoever. Biden has not done that. I'm sure on some level he understands it, but like most crises, whether he's created that, meaning the Biden administration, or that he's faced with, I just don't think this administration knows how to tackle it.
I mean, it's really crazy. I don't know what it's going to take to wake up this administration and, by extension, America. Maybe they have to turn the lights off on America for us to realize how great this threat is. But I do want to pivot to infrastructure a little bit. Congressman Higgins, it appears Democrats are intent on holding true infrastructure hostage to their own reimagined human infrastructure. Meanwhile, we've got bridges on the brink of falling into the rivers below. We've got roads in disrepair. We've got tunnels about to spring a leak. Vast swaths of American infrastructure rated as deficient. Translation, ready for a catastrophic failure at any point in time. What do we need to do to make sure that we, the people, get the roads, tunnels, and bridges we deserve without Democrats pontificating about their utopian version of society?
Well, the first thing we have to do is align ourselves as a nation, as we the people, with the elected representatives that actually reflect the intent of the American people as it regards to infrastructure. Infrastructure is roads, bridges, airports, maritime ports, flood mitigation projects, et cetera. The Democrats and the liberals' idea of infrastructure is certainly far removed from the reality of everyday Americans' interpretation of what infrastructure is. And any Republican that supports this so-called bipartisan infrastructure endeavor that you hear speak of right now. And there's no legislative language, by the way, none. The reason they have not given us any legislative language to review is because they don't want us to see it. They want to push out the talking points. That's a lie. Anytime DC says that something is a bipartisan project, you should look at it very carefully to determine exactly what does that mean. If you have rhinos within the Republican Party supporting the liberals and socialists and Green New Deal representatives of the Democratic Party in Congress, that's not a true bipartisan bill. That's an assault upon American freedoms. It's pushing Green New Deal agenda. We have to stand against it. Republicans like me in my office and my conservative colleagues absolutely support investment in actual infrastructure across the nation, but we will stand against this Green New Deal garbage and socialist agenda.
Absolutely. Congressman Flatt's been quickly getting squeezed by the electric bill here. But what concerns you most about this infrastructure proposal, particularly this lack of will in many ways to just spend the money we've already allocated that has nothing to do with COVID, that we have sitting there basically already on the books for 10 years from now, 12 years from now?
It's just another trap that's been set up by the radical left to try to trap Republicans who might be well-intentioned, but the problem is, first of all, definition. Infrastructure is roads, bridges, airports, broadband, reasonably paid for and dealt with in a way that the average American can say yes to. And Republicans would do that. But on every part of their agenda, whether it's infrastructure, immigration, the economy, Biden's administration is trying to placate its radical left wing, which is such an extreme minority of people in this country. It's very dangerous. The American people need to be heard. The Biden administration needs to be told by the American people, enough is enough. It's time for common sense. It's time for fiscal responsibility. And let's get back to moving this country forward like we were doing so under the Trump administration.
Absolutely. The road to hell is often paved with the best of intentions. We have to make sure we get the outcomes the American people deserve. Congressman Higgins, Congressman Fleischman, God bless you both. We'll talk to you soon.